It's honestly been quite a while since I've done a Genshin Impact tier list, so let's do one. Why not, right? Let's do one. For this tier list, as you can see, I have put apart all of the characters in Genshin that I already own, which is more characters than I was expecting. A lot of these are obviously 4 stars, not necessarily characters that I rolled for, and obviously I don't have all of these characters built, but I do technically have them on my account, which has left a sort of surprisingly piddly little list down here of characters that I do not own. Which is interesting, right? Because it means that all of these characters down here, with the exception of Chaska and Aurora, who obviously aren't on banner yet, I have made the active, conscious decision to skip in some way or another. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I would never go back and get them, so let's go ahead and rank them based off of how much I would be willing to roll for all of these characters. First of all, we have Klee. And as much as I love Klee as a character, and I really want her because I want to use her with Albedo so I can have like the big brother, little sister team, which is always adorable. I love those two's interactions. I'm not gonna do it. I don't need her at all in my account. I have other Pyro DPSs. Klee's gameplay is really clunky, not for me at all. And just in general, there's nothing really about her that draws me to her other than I just want to put her on a team with Albedo. But I'm not going to pull a character just to do that. Ganyu, on the other hand, is going to be in probably not because I just don't love her gameplay necessarily, but what I do love about Ganyu is her burst. There are a lot of times when I wish that I had a Ganyu burst for some teams. Off-field cryo is surprisingly hard to come by, and Ganyu's burst has a huge range and a huge duration. And honestly, I've been tempted to roll for her just for her burst. However, I think that's way too niche of a reason, and that's why I've never gone through with it. Hu Tao has basically the same issue as Klee. I like Hu Tao's character a lot more than I like Klee's, but I just don't need another Pyro DPS. I mean, I have a C6 Gaming, I have a Linny, and I have a Yanfei that I absolutely love to use, and a Yoimiya. I don't need other Pyro DPSs. I am perfectly content with the ones that I have currently. Next is Eula. Eula's going indefinitely not. Not a character I care about too much in terms of personality or design. Not a kit that I care to have on my account. I don't think I would ever really use her. In fact, it's one of my least favorite designed kits in Genshin. Nothing against the character itself, it's just against the actual design of the kit. I think it's a really silly kit. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But yeah, just no interest at all in having Eula on my account. Ayaka. Ayaka is fairly convincing. She's not super good anymore. Obviously the game has sort of turned around and doesn't really favor freeze at all. My only other cryo DPS is Wriothesley, and while Wriothesley is really good for burn melt, he's not great for freeze, and sometimes I do like to use freeze, or I would like to use freeze, even if it's just for domains and stuff, but I just don't really get the chance because Wriothesley isn't super good for it. So she is pretty convincing, however, I don't think I would. But if I ever really get to a point where I really want to run freeze, she's probably my best bet. Raiden is going in definitely not. Have absolutely no use for her kit. Have never really felt a need to roll for her, and she's one of my least favorite characters in the game. Character-wise, sorry Raiden fans, I know there's a lot of y'all out there, but just not for me personally, so definitely no interest. Kokomi. Now, Kokomi was like my number 1 characters that I wanted to pull for a really, really long time. Unfortunately, I rolled for, well, not unfortunately, but I ended up rolling for Baiju because he fulfilled a couple more niches for me than Kokomi did, and I planned to pull another character later down this list who also is a good healer, and that kind of bumped Kokomi down 1 tier for me. I still absolutely love her design, and I really like her character, and I think that one day I would like to pull for her just because of those reasons, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Shenhe is another character that I love. I love her character so much. She's just not very good is the issue. She works great for Ayaka, she works okay for Wriothesley, but she's just not a good enough investment in my opinion for my account. Just super niche, and in general just not a very smart idea. As much as I love her character, I would love for them to release another cryo DPS that can really maximize Shenhe's potential, because if I like that cryo DPS, then I would definitely roll for Shenhe. But as of right now, as the current roster of Genshin stands, there's not much reason for me to pull her. Yae is an interesting one, because I actually own Yae's weapon, and it's not great on a huge amount of other characters, except for like on-field Nahida. And I've always been tempted to pull for her just because of that, and also because off-field Electro is just good, especially after Dendro. I'm also not a huge fan of Yae's character or design is the issue. It's been the main thing that's kept me back. But, I don't know, I could see myself doing it one day, maybe. Yelan, on the other hand, is a character that I definitely do plan to pull. In the past, I've said that Yelan has one of my least favorite designs in the game, and this is still true. But she's obviously a very good character. I don't think I need to say that. And I just absolutely love her character itself. I love the way that she's written. I love the way that she's characterized. And I really like her kit, like the utility of it. Unfortunately, I really just can't get past her design. If they ever come out with a skin for her, as long as it's even a little better than her base skin, she's a lock. Like, I will 100% pull for her, because that's the only thing that's been holding me back. It also helps that I have her weapon. Not that I would use Aqua Simulacra on Yae, I'd probably use Fav, but having it is another plus towards her. Tighnari is an interesting one, because for like the past 2 years, he has been the #1 standard character I've wanted the most. I've been like, I was praying for the day that I lost 50-50 to him. I really, really wanted him. And then recently we obviously had the standard 5-star selector, and I didn't pick him. I ended up picking Dia, who admittedly I do like a lot more. But it's really quickly how like quickly I changed. I mean, I have a full, like, I have his artifacts ready. I have his weapon ready. Like, I have been waiting for the opportunity to use Tighnari for a while because I just really like him as a character. But I don't know. I'm pretty content with the Dendro DPSs that I have. And in the end, he's just going to be a probably not. I will be happy the day that I eventually get him off of standard or by losing 50-50. But if I still don't have him by next year, which is the next standard 5-star selector, and they've released another standard 5-star since then, which they said they were going to do, I probably still won't pick him, even without necessarily knowing who that other standard 5-star is going to be. I love you, Tighnari, but I just don't need your kit right now. Sorry. Next is Nilou. I have a very complicated relationship with Nilou. I find her character pretty boring, but I find her design really great, and I find her kit to be very desirable. I want to run Bloom on my account so bad, specifically Nilou Bloom. I want to run it so bad. It looks so fun. It looks so easy. Like, it seems like such a fun team comp that you just can't do without Nilou, not nearly as well. And that's actually put her up to plan to pull. I plan to pull her on her latest rerun during the like Simulanka event, and I ended up not doing it just because it was right before Natlin and I wanted to save my Primogems. But if she reruns at a more opportune time later on, I can definitely see myself rolling for her. Even though I don't hugely care for her character, I just really want to play those teams, man. Next is Yaoyao, the only 4-star, nope, Sethos is here. One of the only 4-stars that I don't currently have that's in the game currently. For a while I really wanted her, and then I got Baiju, and I don't have a huge need for a Dendro healer anymore, so probably not going to snipe or try to snipe Yaoyao on any banner she might be on in the future. Just probably not worth it. She's a pretty decent character, to be honest, but I just don't have any use for her on my account. Navia, my beloved Navia. One of the characters that I still feel so bad for skipping because I genuinely love her so much. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. I just was in like the past year of Genshin for me. I've been really avoiding pulling for DPSs. I just feel I don't really need them. I'd much rather pull for supports to sort of vertically invest in my teams. And Navia came right at the beginning of that feeling when I had originally made that decision, and she's just kind of been on the back burner since. But every time we get like a DPS check event or Abyss or anything like that, I realize how much I want her, because as much as I love Ito and using an Ito Goro team, I don't love burst reliant characters at all. So I think I might just have to get Navia because she's the other Geo DPS that's real good. So Xianyun is next, and Xianyun is without a doubt 110% the 5-star character that I don't own in the game that I most plan to pull. She's going right at the top of plan to pull. None of the other characters are ranked, but she is. I love Xianyun. She really grew on me. I used to hate her in her bird form. Not hate her. I used to pretty much dislike her in her bird form. I thought she was quite annoying. But I think they did a very good job at turning her into like a human playable character. I wrote off her kit on her first run on her debut because I thought it was gimmicky and silly. Even though I have C6 Gaming and I freaking love playing him, I was like, I don't need this bird lady. Little did I know, yes, I need the bird lady. I need her so much. I'm terrified that they're going to run her in the same patch as Mavuika, because if that happens, I'm screwed because I don't think I can pull for both of them. But man, I hope they don't because I want the bird so bad. Chiori is a character who I like her design, I like her personality, and her kit is fine. I don't love that she power creeped Albedo because Albedo is my sweet prince, but she's better than him. It's just an objective fact, so she's going and convincing. Honestly, I probably won't ever get her, but there's so many aspects of her that I really do love, like her character and her design, that she will always be a really tempting character for me. Arlecchino is also going into convincing because I love everything about her, except for the fact that she's a Pyro DPS, because I already have too many of those, and that's the only reason I haven't pulled for her, is because I don't need another Pyro DPS. Literally everything else, her story, her character, her animations, everything. I love it. I love Arlecchino. I knew that I would. Her design, I love it. Great. But unfortunately, she's just not a character archetype that I need. And I'm trying to show more restraint when it comes to pulling characters because I don't need more DPSs. But Arlecchino could make me make an exception. Let's just say that. Clorinde, another character that I did not like when I first saw her in the Archon quests and stuff, but really kind of grew on me throughout the course of Fontaine. I currently have Sino, but Sino's kind of annoying to play, even though he's my favorite character in the game. So she could honestly be hovering. She kind of flips back and forth between plan to pull and convincing. Right now, she's not in plan to pull. Since they're buffing Electrocharge next patch, I'm really interested to see if Clorinde gets like another viable team from that buff. Because I have been wanting like to run an Electrocharge team for a while, and I've heard that it might benefit her the most out of all Electro DPSs, so I'd be interested to see about that. Sigewinne, definitely not. Sorry to all Sigewinne fans out there. Nothing about her character intrigues me. Her kit doesn't intrigue me. Her character doesn't intrigue me. Her design doesn't intrigue me. I admit she's very cute, and her animations are very like girly pop, hyper pop-ish, which is a great aesthetic, but nothing that personally makes me want to roll for her. Sethos. Sethos is on banner currently while I'm recording this, and I did throw a 10 pull on the banner just to try and get him, because I do love Sethos, and you guys know that I love Sumeru, and I would love to have all of the Sumeru characters. I'm only a few off. I'm only Nilou, Tighnari, and Sethos off from having all of them. But in the end, I decided not to go all in and try and snipe him. I just don't think it's worth it at this point in time to try and snipe a 4-star. If he was anything other than a 4-star DPS, I might, but I don't know, 4-star DPSs are never a very good idea, are they? So probably not. Mualani, I have Navia, and I don't really like Mualani's kit. I find it clunky to play, so probably not. And now we get to the 2 upcoming characters. They might even be out by the time this video comes out, I'm not sure. Chaska? No. Not really any interest in Chaska. Don't like her design at all. I think her kit, her animations and stuff are a bit goofy. And we'll see how powerful she ends up being. But yeah, that's just, not huge on her. Auroran, on the other hand, is a character that I did not expect to like as much in the Natlan Archon quest. He went from a character and a design that I had really no interest in. I was like, oh, he looks kind of bad and not a huge fan. But they gave him such a lovable personality. They made him so sweet, and so I just love Auroran's personality, man. He's so endearing to me. that I am gonna probably try and snipe him on his banner. The worst part is he's on a banner with Linny and Chaska. Linny I already own and I don't want constellations of, and Chaska I don't like. So I don't know what I'm gonna do if I get an early 5-star. It's such a poor decision to try and snipe a 4-star, but I'm gonna do it. And I'm probably gonna regret it, but I really want Aurora and he's so cute. But yeah, that was it for characters I don't own in Genshin. This is my list of characters that I plan to pull, that are pretty convincing, that I probably won't pull, and that I definitely won't pull. Let me know what characters you guys don't own and which ones are on your priority list to pull on their reruns. I would be interested to see if we have any similarities. With that being said though, that is going to be the end of this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment and even subscribe to the channel to let me know that this is the kind of content you guys enjoy. Feel free to make more recommendations for other kinds of tier lists I should do down below. I'll try and get to them a little bit more often nowadays. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video for now. So I will see you all in the next one. Later!